Welcome back to the Newbie Gains podcast. I have a very special guest, our DTA community manager. We have Sarah Christine. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me on the Newbie Gains podcast, my first podcast ever. I'm honored to be here.
Yes, and we are talking today about how to lose 40 pounds and break the binge eating cycle forever. And you, I don't know, you have done that.
It's not easy. And everybody in this group knows, and everybody who's on a weight loss journey of whatever caliber knows it's not easy to lose weight. Even if you do cut yourself down to 600 calories because then, or whatever you're doing, you know what I mean? Intermittent fasting, it's all hard. It's so hard. You really have to have the right tools and the right support to do it the right way. And then once you get into a groove, I'm not going to say it's easier, but like maybe this much easier.
Guys, even though we're talking about how to lose 40 pounds, some of you guys don't want to lose 40 pounds, but you want to break the binge eating cycle. So we're going to drop some nuggets here. So take some notes, buckle up. So Sarah, when you first started trying to lose the weight, what were some of the battles that you had in front of you?
So I have, most of you don't know, I grew up in an Italian background. Both of my parents are Italian. So growing up in this culture, and I know there's other cultures that are very similar to mine, whereas food was always a focal point in our life. Food was what we used to celebrate. Food was what we used to mourn. Food was what we used to, you know what I mean? Just all the emotions, there was always a food for that. There was always a meal for that. So growing up, just eating and being around large portions of food and never being denied for seconds, thirds was unheard of in my life. So from the beginning, there was never really a regulation of, what we were eating and how much. We're big pasta eaters, right? So there was always a plethora of carbs every day to eat. And so it really kind of set me on a pattern where I wasn't, balancing my life that much because, physical movement, but, very minimal when I was younger, riding bikes with friends and things like that. And intramural sports, but never really doing anything too intense, in terms of exercising and that kind of stuff. So as, the years went on and I just took no notice to my eating habits, I gained weight. I was as heavy as, I think my highest weight was 285 pounds at one point.
285 pounds.
Yeah.
What year was that? Take us back.
I'm going to say probably about 2005.
Okay, guys. Sarah, 285 pounds in 2005. Yeah. Sarah, I know we're going to talk about how we lost the weight and how to break the binge cycle, but what are you weighing now today?
I weigh 178 pounds.
Let's fucking go.
I know. And for some people, that number, that's not something they would celebrate. Some people are at that number looking to go down. And again, everybody's journey is different, right? But for me, having been at 285 pounds, started my journey, with the DPA just under 250, my goal was 175. And I hit that. And I'm proud to say, at this point, I have been maintaining that weight for the last little while. And that's the other, part of the battle. Is once you get to a place that you're happy with, maintaining that weight is a whole other game, which I'm learning because now I'm really focused on, building muscle, tightening the loose skin that I have from all the weight loss. And so, I'm 5'7". I kind of feel on the scale of women, I'm a little bit on the taller side. So I'm not looking to really get too much lower in weight because I'm looking to put on muscle. I want to tighten up my arms. I want to tighten up my midsection. And I just I want to be strong. I don't feel, the stronger I get, the better I feel. I don't know who doesn't want to feel strong. Maybe they've never felt that before, but it's such an addicting feeling. Once we started lifting and we're increasing weights and stuff like that, man, it's the best kind of drug, right? Because you just do it. And then it just, I want to lift more and more, right? Every time I want to lift more and more.
You drop some love for Sarah in the chat, 110 pounds down. Now, Sarah, when you first, back in 2005, when you were trying to lose weight, what type of programs were you following?
So I think the first one that I really took seriously was the Suzanne Somers diet. Do you know who Suzanne Somers is? Come on, come and knock on my door. Anybody know she's an actress? First off, she was in the show Three's Company with the Canadian superstar John Ritter, and I forget the other guy's name. Anyway, she was Chrissy on Three's Company, and then just in her later years, she basically came up with diet culture, and she put out a bunch of books and recipes. She went that direction after TV, and she did her she did the Suzanne Summers diet, which was just, it really was like a kind of a compilation of her recipes, and they really tended to be lower carb, if I remember correctly. I probably still have the book buried like somewhere in my basement, but it was a lot of like lettuce cup with protein in them, eggs inside of the, cut out the middle of the bread and do the 2 eggs in there and that kind of stuff. So followed her recipe books for about 8 months and lost 75 pounds. Lost 75 pounds, moving my body, and the sort of, again, it was probably just more of a cutting of the calories. Never counting calories, right? Eating whatever I wanted. No idea if I could even wager how many calories a day I was eating when I didn't pay attention. So just cutting back and monitoring that, dropped the weight, but then like as soon as you let up, right? As soon as I let up, my weight went back up. Because I got close to, I remember then my goal was 200 pounds. And I remember the day that I hit the 200 pounds on the scale, I weighed myself on a scale in a department store with my girlfriend. There was a scale and I'm like, I'm stepping on it. And I was 200 on the nose and I couldn't have been happier. But then it was like, okay, I did it. And then it was like, I just went back to my old ways and then quickly went back up. And then I think I didn't get higher than 240. Right. So gained back literally 40 pounds over the span of a few years. And once it was 240, and then again, I hit that thing of like, what am I doing to myself? Like, I can't do this anymore. I jumped on the, what other weights, did I do? I tried the cabbage soup diet where you make cabbage soup and you just eat that for like 2 weeks straight. I tried like Whole30. I tried fasting. I was starving like all the time. And then the most recent one before I joined the DTA was keto. So I did that for 2 years and I lost about 25 pounds. It took me like 2 years to lose 25 pounds, still going to the gym, but really like maybe 5 days a week on the spin bike. So just cardio. I was a cardio bunny and doing the keto. So fadding everything, right? Fad diet, fad workouts. And then, that was it. I came across you guys, you and Carl on Instagram and just like that was it. The rest was history because, you guys reached out, we talked, I engaged in your content, and then you started to inspire me. And then when you announced that you wanted to do the 4-day Sugar Crush Challenge, I was hesitant at first, but with a little motivation, I said, okay, what do I literally have to lose other than weight? But, like, what do I have to lose? Just try. And then, that's it. Now here I am today.
Wow. You're getting a lot of love in the chat. Now,
I wish I knew how to, again, grandma technology. I wish I could be seeing this, but I'm going to go and read all the comments after the pod. So I love you guys. Thank you for being here.
Yes. Now, let's say, going through the changes of diets, different programs, coming on, coming back off. How, like for you, how did you stop the yo-yo diet? Like when you were yo-yoing, did it lead to binge eating as well? Because if you're restricting a lot of calories, if you're doing the cabbage soup diet, what was your relationship like with food?
It was weird. Like when I was in it, like when I did keto, and I'm trying to think about like when I did Suzanne Summers, I was pretty diligent in doing what you were supposed to do. But what I can remember the most, probably because it's the most recent, was keto. I did it for 2 years. And after 2 years, I couldn't get back on it. Like I kind of lost some weight. I was feeling good. And then I started slowly to integrate carbs back into my diet. And it was just like more and more and more and more and more. Right. And then again, you kind of just get back to your, I knew that I wasn't doing the, doing keto anymore because I knew that I was eating carbs and stuff like that. So I knew I wasn't like in ketosis or anything like that. My weight just stopped moving and I still stuck. I was plateaued. And so then, then again, it just, the old habits creep in. I would go out, I would go drinking, we'd go to McDonald's after, and then after that, there had to be chocolate after that because I got to have dessert after I eat and just, then the next day dinner at my mom's, pasta, fried meats, like, and it just over and over and over again. Yeah.
Okay. So that was like a cycle for you. You mentioned drinking, having McDonald's on the way home. I'm
Yeah.
sure we've all done that before.
Yeah,
And
everybody, right? As soon as you have, as soon as you imbibe, as soon as you have, one, like for instance, for me, as soon as they have, a sip of alcohol, I'm like, let's get a burger. Like, and it's just because that inhibitions, you loosen up, and it's not just, you loosen up in all ways. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll have that chocolate bar, or get, let's go to 7-Eleven and get cookies. Like, it's just, it makes everything like just easier to be like, let's do it. So it's another part of why, like, I love that in our group, you never say, don't eat this, don't drink this. But it's like, okay, moderation, because you're going to live life. But some of these things lead to our downfalls and our like our struggles, our roadblocks, right?
Yeah.
Because they're not really setting you up for success if meat drinking is making me want to eat burgers, right? So, and again, that sort of thing, like even if I do once in a while, like slip and have something, another thing I pat myself on the back for is the mindset of not totally beating myself up about it, realizing that I didn't just blow a year of hard work in one night, and to just like get up the next day and pick it up from there and just like get back to where I was going. I don't fall off the wagon and it turns into a spiral of going back to where I was. It's just like, okay, I ate that burger. I really probably shouldn't have. It was a bad decision on my part, but the next day, that's it. We get back on it. I'm on my meals, my prep in the fridge, and that's it. You just got to pick it back up. You have to give yourself some grace for those, for those bumps in the road, and you just got to keep going. I think that's the way. So you don't just fall off and give up. You can't give up. You can't.
When you joined the Dream Team, what specific changes did you make to your diet and exercise that contributed to not just the weight loss, but now you've actually kept it off?
Well, I mean, in the exercise, it's the strength trainings. Like I said, I was cycling 5 to 6 days a week. And people knew me too. Like people would come on the bike next to me and then they'd be like, they would literally be like, I'm intimidated. Like, you crushed this bike. And I thought, that's amazing, right? I've been riding this bike 5-6 days a week with no change for like months. So while they were congratulating me on my hard work, I wasn't really seeing results. But my nutrition was, again, when I was doing it myself, there was no adherence. There was no paying attention. There was nothing. So the fact that I track my meals, the fact that I make protein a priority, because now knowing how important protein is for muscle growth and weight loss and things like that, I make a point to make it a priority, to include more protein than I was eating before, having a calorie limit, and sticking in it. And again, like the workouts, just going from total cardio to now, like literally 99.5% weight training. I do cycling for 20 minutes, maybe once a week, that kind of stuff. But like, I don't, I just, it's all about the weights now. And, that's it. As soon as I picked them up, within weeks, my body started to change. It was incredible. The change, as soon as you put the combination of, getting your nutrition, even relatively on track, as in like, here's a number of calories that you can't go over. And here's I want 40% protein, 30% carbs. Within 2 weeks, go to the gym a couple times a week and do that for 2 weeks. Boom. It started right away. And then it was like I said, like a drug. Like I was starting to feel better. That brain fog is so long gone. I used to be so just cloudy in my head and just, I don't know, just sometimes feeling really out of it. I don't have that anymore. Like that's like a thing of the past. It's incredible. I see the difference like in my memory, just in general, like remembering, things and stuff like that. So it's just improved me, like, it seems cliche, but mind, body, and soul, like, because it's just, I feel so different. I feel different in my mind. I feel different in my heart about how I feel about myself and how I feel about nutrition and wanting to help. I have friends messaging me, what should I do, this and that. And I'm so ready to just give them anything that I know, right? Any knowledge that I have to pass on and how important it is to eat your protein and how, you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. I'm willing to just help anybody because I know how I feel, right? I know how it feels to feel like this and feel like a different person. And it's like the best feeling I've ever had. So
that's beautiful. Now, in the Dream Team Academy, we have a massive pillar that is mindset. To get a body transformation, you need mindset, exercise, and nutrition. Now, you could have the perfect training plan, as you know, the perfect nutrition plan, but if you don't have the mindset to cultivate consistent habits, you kind of fall flat on your face, and sometimes it's 3 steps forward, 5 steps back. So, Sarah, how did you cultivate a positive mindset to stay consistent throughout your weight loss journey?
Well, like I mentioned before, giving myself grace for this, for the slip ups, and the stumbles that I had, and not beating myself up, and not considering, going to the gym as a torture to what I did yesterday. I got to kill myself tomorrow because I, ate some things yesterday, or I went over my calories, that kind of stuff for sure. And really, like, again, this community though, immersing myself, like fully jumping in with 2 feet, and just putting myself in there every day in the Facebook group, reading everybody's stuff, watching their videos, cheering them on, like just listening to the lives that you do, like the Mindset Monday, participating in Fix Your Form, and just that's it. Just immersing myself in the culture that is the DTA. It was motivating. It was motivating. I don't know what else to say. Like it really lit a fire under me. And the more motivated I got, the harder I worked, the better I felt. And it was a cycle, kept pushing me, and it keeps pushing me forward. But I definitely couldn't do it without, I love going on being on the journey with everybody, like everybody that's in the chat right now, everybody that's in the group. We're all on the same journey, even though we have different finish lines, different weights, different outcomes, what we want to lose weight, gain weight, whatever it is, we're all on the journey together. So we can come together on that fact. And I love that, because I'm always I'm very much like a team individual. I like doing things in groups, and or having a partner or whatever. I'm not I feel not confident on my own. So having a community and doing these things together and participating in these challenges, it's what drives. And that's why I'm happy to see everybody that shows up in the group, because I have to believe that in the littlest way, it's contributing to the success that they're having.
Yep. Everyone's feeling very encouraged right now, just so you know.
Get it. Yes. I love it. It's good. It just comes out when I talk about it. It makes me excited. I get excited because it's such a positive environment. And I want people to know, I want people to know what they're missing, because there's everybody who's half a step out the door of a weight loss journey. There's everybody, not many people are happy with their body. It's either they want to lose weight, they want to gain muscle, they want to, tone something. Everybody's just in the window looking in. And so maybe, they'll hear this podcast, or they'll watch it, or whatever they do. And maybe it will motivate them to, to take that step through the door, and just to take that chance, and see what they can do in a span of 3 months, or whatever they would decide to commit to. So
you've had a miraculous transformation journey from 110 pounds down to killing binge eating forever, to not following any more fad diets. Were there any particular moments throughout the fat loss journey and this transformation journey that stood out to you?
I think that standing out, I don't know, it's hard to say. Winning the challenge for me was that had to be a standout moment. So 4 days, we had a 4-day challenge, and winning it, me laughing to myself at that point, 242 pounds, I think I was. I'm I won this fitness journey, this challenge. I couldn't believe it. That was definitely a standout moment, because that was the first time I've ever felt whoa, I did that. Because I've spoken about it before. I almost backed out. I totally got cold feet. Night before it was going to start, I was listen, I don't think I can do this. But I was just encouraged to just give it a try. And I'm really glad I just, shut that voice down and said, just do it. Because, and again, I'm here, I'm here today, and I wouldn't be here like this, with you, if I wouldn't have done that. So standout moments, and then hitting my goal weight, hitting my 175 is another moment that, I will, I won't forget, because I've never weighed that before in my life. And it was a goal that I had set back in 2005. So took me however many years to get there. And I did. So, I guess the message is never give up, right? Never give up.
Okay. We're going to have some final words. So just pretend you're speaking to Sarah from 2005, and she's listening to this podcast, and she's thinking, nothing works. I've tried everything. I'm just gonna, quit. Like if she's listening to this right now, what would you say to her?
Believe in yourself. Give yourself a little bit more credit because you can do a lot more than you think you can. Be strong and take chances. I know you're scared of a lot of things, but step out of your comfort zone because you're going to surprise yourself and you can do it. You can do it, bitch. Go.
Let's go. All right.
Yeah. I
Hey,
see a comment. I don't know how that happened. Always so encouraging. You're great. Thank you. Because it just says Facebook user. I'm happy. I hope that if it's nice to get a fire lit under me by you guys. So I hope that I do the same. And then I thank everybody. Thank everybody for being here and being on the journey together. It's awesome to have these relationships with people that you've never met in person. It's a very unique and very cool thing, and it's special. And I appreciate it very much.
all right. Hey guys, thank you for listening to the Newbie Gains podcast. I hope you're inspired. I hope you take action from this. Sarah has done some amazing things, and she was so gracious to give us all these words of wisdom coming from her personal life story. So thank you once again, Sarah. We'll speak to you on the other side. We're out.